Peace, what's going on guys? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Moto G Stylus and the LG Stylo 5. Or I did that backwards. So this is the G Stylus in my right hand, and on my left hand I have the LG Stylo 5 for Metro by T-Mobile. Now I want to talk about some key features about both devices. We're going to start off with build quality. We're also going to start out with price. And we're also going to start out with performance and cameras and then battery life. So first, let me talk about the overall build quality of both devices. Now, I have a really nice case on both devices, which I did purchase separately. Now, both of these phones do come with some really cool accessories on Amazon.com. And a lot of people will be looking forward to picking up one of these devices, because actually they're both really good for the price. Now let's talk about materials here and overall build quality. Now with the Moto G Stylus, you're getting a really nice display, Corning Gorilla Glass and Gorilla Glass 3 here. I believe this is Corning Gorilla Glass 5 or 4 on here if I'm not mistaken. Now on the backs you are getting a polycarbonate material on both of these devices. So both of them are going to be micro scratch prone, meaning even if you have a case on them or not, they will develop micro scratches over time, maybe even over the first week of having both devices. Now, when it comes to the overall build quality, when it comes to button placement, now we are getting the volume rocker and power button on the same side on the Moto G Stylus, and the power button is really cool because it's actually textured. Now on the LG Stylo 5, you could see where we have the power button here, no texture, and volume rockers right on the other side. Now on the Moto G Stylus right here, all you have right here is the SIM ejector slot. And now on the tops of both devices, you see we have microphones, and pretty much that's it. The antenna bands on the LG show right here. Now on the bottom, you can see that we do get Type-C as well, headphone jacks, and what's really crazy is they both do have pen stylus features, which can be removed on the right side on both devices, and you actually do get that note mechanism where once you take out both, you can instantly write a note on here. So I definitely think that's a pretty cool thing. Around back, you're getting fingerprint sensor, a single camera here, and a triple camera setup here. Now we actually have a camera right here, 13 megapixel, which can give you portrait, and a fingerprint sensor with facial recognition. Okay, so on the Moto G Stylus, you're getting a really nice facial fingerprint sensor, but no facial recognition, which is actually okay. You do get some Moto gestures as well here, and on the LG, you do get like the tap to wake and the double click to the camera option here. So some cool shortcuts on both devices, but I really do like that they both have the headphone jack, and also that they offer an option to have an equalizer or improvement with a headphone jack when you're listening to audio. Now that we talked about build quality, I gotta say that the overall build quality, it feels a lot more premium on the Moto G Stylus just because it's a little bit more heavier, has a little bit more weight to it. You get some really nice aluminum rails on the LG Stylo 5, which is actually really nice. It looks really premium because of that. So they both have a really nice solid feel, but when it comes to overall premium feel in the hand, the Moto G gets this one. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the displays. Now both displays are about the same, and I honestly like both of them. So honestly, I might have to give this one a tie when it comes to the overall brightness. They do get plenty bright overall. I don't have an issue with either one. The displays both look really good. You're getting a substantially good amount of pixels to pry at or peep at when you're looking at content. So, but when it comes to the overall screen, like resolution and like what you're looking at on the display, you can see that you're getting a much nicer, well, not nicer, but overall you're getting more screen to look at on the Moto G Stylus because of that punch hole cutout at the top left corner. And on the LG Stylo 5, you're getting that near bezel-less design with the minimal forehead and chin, which I don't have a problem with whatsoever. But when it comes to the displays, I'd have to say that the Moto G Stylus is a little bit more immersive because of that open display. It's almost like an all-screen display. So honestly, when it comes to the displays and the body, I gotta give it to the Moto G Stylus. Now, a lot of people who have the Stylo 5, the display would actually be really nice and perfectly fine for this price. There's nothing wrong with the display here or the build quality for the price, but when you compare it to the Moto G Stylus, which is a little bit more money, about $50 more retail, so you'd be paying for a more premium device when it comes to the build quality and overall design. Now, you're getting a better screen, like I did mention, because of that all-screen display here. And when it comes to the batteries on both of these devices, you're getting a 4,000 milliamp hour battery here and a 3,500 milliamp hour on the LG Stylo 5. So again, you're getting more battery, about a 2-day battery on this device, give or take, depending on how you use the phone, and about a 1.5 day to 2-day battery on the LG Stylo 5. So I honestly gotta say that both batteries do really well, but a slight edge will go to the Moto G Stylus. Now, when it comes to overall performance, you're getting the Snapdragon 665 versus the Snapdragon 450 on the Moto, 450 on the LG Stylo 5. So you're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM on here, which is actually suitable for a lot of things, but some people would like a little bit more. With an extra gigabyte, you can get 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you can actually get 128 gigabytes of storage on this one. So it's a clear winner here when it comes to memory and storage on the Moto G Stylus. It's just an absolute slaughter with 128 gigabytes. You basically don't need a SD card for moving your pictures, movies, videos, files, and games. Whereas the LG Stylo 5, you will need an SD card for moving pictures and videos. Now, they don't offer an option to move games or apps on the SD card on the LG Stylo 5. So that's another win for the Moto G Stylus. So one more thing that I want to talk about, we covered the price, and you pay about $50 more. You will get a better device here on the Moto G Stylus, which so you're paying $299 versus about $180 on this device. So about $100 more for the Moto G Stylus actually, but the price, if you want to, the clear advantage here is the LG Stylo 5 because you're getting a ton of features here along with the stylus, decent camera, 5 megapixel front. But if you want to have a substantially large amount of storage, faster processor, better battery, then the clear winner here is the Moto G Stylus. But when it comes to price, the Stylo 5 actually wins this one. So there's one win for the LG Stylo 5, and that's the price. This price, you could get this literally free with a port over special, which is really hard to resist. Now, the last thing I want to talk about these two devices, we talked about some of the key features which the average consumer likes, which is battery, performance. Now, we didn't touch on cameras too much, and that's where we're going to touch on cameras. Now you're getting 3 different options of cameras: the 48 megapixel, the macro shot for video, and you're also getting the depth sensor. So you're able to use the macro for video and the 48 megapixel wide angle camera on here. Now with this LG Stylo 5, you are limited to a single 13 megapixel camera, which you can use through software. You can take portraits. So I think that's pretty cool, because you're able to take portraits with one camera, but this one just offers a lot more, and you're getting a lot better quality. And even in low light, they offer a designated night mode feature on here. Now, my aunt recently got the LG Stylo 5, and for a lot of people, this phone is actually perfect, because a lot of people don't care about cameras, batteries, displays, performance. That's something I use as a logistic and kind of a way to see how to differentiate these phones. But she actually picked this phone up, and she didn't even know that there was a pen on the bottom. She actually thought this was a switch, like a button that you could move over and left and right. So most people won't even know that they have this, wow, here it is. Most people won't even know that they have this tool right here, LG Stylo 5, which is going to be amazing. And once I showed her that tool, she was crazy in love with it. After I showed her she could take notes, save notes with it, scroll and use it as a mouse. And after she saw that, she was like shocked. But this phone is going to be perfectly fine for the average user. But if you're not the average user and you want to have a step up, a level up, extra cameras, better performance, you know, better storage options, things like that, all the bells and whistles to go along with it, and pay a little bit more money, then this is definitely a little bit of a step up. So hopefully you guys did find this helpful. This is the reasons you should buy the LG Stylo 5 or the Moto G Stylus. They're both actually really good options, but they target 2 different markets. One being the entry-level market, the average consumer, the person who is not really informed about phones and doesn't know too much about them. I would recommend this phone. If you're a tech head and you've had about 3 or 4 devices already, and you like photography, you like to dabble into video and media, then this thing I would recommend as well. But that's the 2 differences: entry-level user, intermediate to advanced user. But hopefully you guys did find this helpful. Obviously these 2 devices will have SD card expansion, but this one won't be able to use apps as internal storage, where this one will, on top of the 128 gigabytes. This one will have 32 gigabytes out of box, but you're only going to be able to use like 16 gigabytes of that. So I just want to let you guys know, these are my quick little pointers about these 2 devices. Hopefully you did find this helpful. Hopefully it did help to make a better purchasing decision. But in the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are. Later, have a great night. Peace.